It was a strange thing to know that I was to become a memory to them. I kept searching for pain because pain means life. Instead, I smelled lip smackers on Olivia's pale pink lips. I heard Faith's high-pitched giggles that still sounded childish even though she was growing into a young woman. I couldn't move my arms, but against my fingertips I felt their hair, their shoelaces, their sticky cheeks. I knew this would break their hearts into thousands of tiny pieces that one lifetime couldn't mend. "Ma'am! Ma'am!" I wished that he knew my name. I wanted somebody to know my name. The sirens wailed and screamed, and I wondered if I was coming and going out of consciousness or if that's just how sirens sounded from the inside. Above me, out of a light, misty gray that seemed like steam from a shower, I saw a man's face come into view. His eyes were frantic, but gorgeous and blue. Above him, I caught my reflection against a long metal strip that ran the length of the ambulance. There was a familiarity to him. But that was true of everyone in Columbus County. If I didn't know you, I knew your mom or your grandpa or your second cousin. "Blood pressure." The words faded, just like the sirens, and his beautiful eyes retreated to a far place that I longed to reach for. I only saw the girls now, their faces passing by me like living, breathing photographs, and Calvin standing by his horse. I wanted to be more than a memory. I hated that for the rest of their days they would only be able to touch me in their minds or set their gazes on a tiny glimpse captured by a camera. A mother's heart cannot let go, not even to a father who had all the love in the world to offer them. I could never be replaced. I looked again to that long metal reflection above me. I was covered in blankets. The EMT was covered in blood, and I thought that was strange. Warm and cold sensations drifted through my body, and I searched again for any sign of pain. My face looked distorted against the metal, like in a funhouse mirror, except nothing else seemed out of proportion. 14 minutes out. Yes, it was a long way to the hospital when you lived in the country. Only one winding road led through our neck of the woods. Columbus County did not have a well-designed road system. The state was involved in a plan to pave farm-to-market roads, the idea being to improve transportation of tobacco, corn, sweet potatoes, cotton, soybeans, and livestock to places like Whiteville and Tabor City, where the train tracks ran. But instead of designing a modern road system, they paved the old dirt roads that had generally followed horse and carriage paths. They once connected neighboring farms, working around and over the swampy areas, resulting in a system of meandering roads. I could feel the ambulance hugging the curves of the concrete. It was often on these roads where I heard the music play. I closed my eyes, or maybe they were already closed. I told myself to live no matter what, to live. And then I felt it, a tiny prick of pain in my heel. Chapter 2. Luke. There's a certain protocol when introducing an outsider into the Carraday family, and it does not include bringing a stranger as of 62 days ago to the family compound, as I like to refer to it. I watched Faith's expression as we pulled into the long drive that led to my childhood summer home in the Hamptons. Her mouth opened as she gazed upward through the tinted window of the sedan. "Are you nervous?" I asked. "A little, yes." I wanted to put a hand on hers, but I didn't want her to feel my own hand shaking. Yet, even as I trembled at the idea of what I was doing, I felt reassured. I knew they'd like Faith. She was easygoing, down to earth, and a way better conversationalist than any of the other girls I'd dated. I use the word dated lightly. She wore a simple yellow sundress and a light blue sweater, like she was sunlight drenched in clear sky. Ward pulled the car into the circular drive, and she let out a long, determined sigh, then smiled to reassure me she would be fine.